What is going on YouTube? I'm here bringing my Week 7 NFL picks. This is actually my first video. I haven't been able to actually get my picks in a video format yet. I've just been using the NFL.com's weekly pick'em. Not doing too bad this year. I'm 59 and 33. It's a 64%. So I've been really pleased with how well I've been able to pick games. But this, like I said, is my first video. I think I'm going to try to do this every week. Let's start it off. Thursday night, Chicago at Green Bay. As a Vikings fan at heart, I hate the Packers. I'm sorry to all Green Bay fans, but I can't stand it. But Green Bay, I think, is going to win this game, as much as it kills me to say. Chicago, I feel bad for Bears fans right now. They're at 1-5. They're a complete train wreck. Brian Hoyer is at the helm at quarterback. I don't see a reason they can come into Green Bay and win this game. 24-13 is my prediction. Packers winning that one. Giants at Rams. That's in London, so it's not really in Los Angeles. The Rams, I don't see them making much noise here. They've had little spurts of brilliance at some points in the season. Case Keenum had a great game last week. Came up short, obviously. But the Giants, I think, right their ship a little bit. I think they win this game 28-23. For whatever reason, the NFC East is all of a sudden a decent division. Last year, I can't remember who. I know the Redskins won the division, but I couldn't remember with what records. But I know the records in that division were terrible, to be honest. But every single team is at least 500 or above. The Giants improved that again with a win here. So it was I think it was the NFC West last year that was one of the better divisions, and they're struggling right now. Cleveland at Cincinnati is our first game on Sunday at noon. Cleveland, they're 0-6. They have had spurts of brilliance. Cody Kessler it's possible he could become a decent quarterback, but there's no reason for me to think Cleveland comes into Cincinnati and wins that game at 0-6. Granted, Cincinnati's not doing great at 2-4, but they should be able to come back and win this game. Hopefully, get their season back on track. Cleveland will probably go to 0-7, front runners for the number 1 draft pick. And obviously with the number 1 draft pick, they can either get their franchise cornerstone or trade it like they did last year and get a bunch of picks back. But 31-16 I have Cincinnati over Cleveland. Washington at Detroit is the next game. I've been impressed again with how the NFC East has done, but I actually see the Lions winning this one at home. Washington, they played extremely well against Carson Wentz and Philadelphia last week. I could see them possibly coming into Detroit. I see picks pretty much a half and half for Redskins and Lions here, but I have the Lions. I don't like the Lions. I'd rather have the Redskins win as a Vikings fan because Lions are in the NFC North. But I see the Lions coming out and winning this one 27-24. Matthew Stafford's just been playing way too good lately. Oakland at Jacksonville. I can see Jacksonville pulling off the upset here. I don't see it enough. I have Oakland winning this one and winning pretty big, 34-21. Jaguars, I had them going, I think 7-9 with my predictions at the beginning of the year, and that's still likely. But Oakland's too good of a team right now. I had Oakland going to the playoffs before the season began. The offense in Oakland, Derek Carr, Michael Crabtree, and Amari Cooper, they've done pretty well as of late, especially Crabtree. I have him on my fantasy team, and I can't complain. And that defense is still doing well, too. 4-2, I think they go to 5-2 here, the Raiders. So I think they take care of business here. But who knows how long they stay in Oakland. With all the news about them possibly going to Las Vegas, that could be very interesting. The Bills at the Dolphins. This is probably my biggest upset of the week. I actually have the Dolphins taking care of business at home in a very close defensive game. Adam Gase has done... It's hard to say how good of a job he's done, actually. The 2-4 Dolphins, I think they're 2-4. They've been inconsistent, but once in a while they pull off some flash of brilliance like they did last week against Pittsburgh. I think they do that again here. Buffalo has overachieved, I think, a little bit at 4-2. I still think that Buffalo's a decent football team. But I see him as more of a 9-7, 8-8 type right now. Just with Rex Ryan, I don't think he's the type of coach that they need right now. I think they lose here 17-16. Miami takes this one. New Orleans at Kansas City. Kansas City is the better football team. New Orleans had a great game last week against Carolina. They let them back in it at the very end. But they finally came out with a win on the last second field goal. But I don't see them coming off with another win this week. Kansas City is going to take this one. They had a great game against Oakland last week, and I think they have another good one here. 27-23 at Arrowhead is my prediction there. Baltimore at the Jets. You can tell the Jets defense is doing bad when, to replace my injured fantasy quarterback Ben Roethlisberger, I pick up Joe Flacco. I am not a Joe Flacco fan, and he doesn't put up the greatest numbers, but I picked him up to be my starter this week because the Jets defense has not been playing well. Obviously, if you're starting Geno Smith as your starting quarterback, you're not expecting the Jets offense to do much noise either. I have Baltimore winning this game 31-13. I actually hope Geno Smith does well just for the kid's sake. I'm not a huge fan of him, but just to give him a chance to resurrect his NFL career. And you know what? It would make the NFL that much weirder, because this season has been so insane with how some teams, for example the Panthers, have done so poorly, and you have some teams like the Cowboys that no one expected them to do anything, and they're 5-1. So just to throw another wrench into things, let's give Geno Smith a great game. I don't think that's going to happen. I still see the Ravens winning this, but what the hell. Minnesota at Philadelphia is my next game. I'm going to try to be unbiased because I'm a Vikings fan, but I still see them winning this one. They're 5-0, coming off their bye week, and I've been to 2 of the games at US Bank Stadium this year. This team is legit. Granted, it's not at US Bank Stadium; it's out on the road against Philadelphia, and Philadelphia is no pushover. But this is a really good team. The defense has been outstanding. Sam Bradford, all he needs to do is be mistake-free, and that's what he's doing right now. And as long as he continues that, Carson Wentz is not going to be able to do enough to get past this defense. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think it's going to be 23-16, Minnesota winning it. So it should still be a one-score game. Minnesota actually has not had a one-score game except for their game against Green Bay. All the other ones have been at least 2 scores. But Minnesota, I think, it pulls this off at Philly. Indianapolis at Tennessee. I don't know what happened to Indianapolis last week against Houston. I wish I had watched the game. I regretfully did not. Houston, if anyone watched it, pulled off a couple touchdowns in the last few minutes to come within, or to tie the game, and then won in overtime. I really wish I had watched that game, but Indianapolis kind of collapsed. Tennessee's got a little bit of momentum right now at 3-3, Indianapolis at 2-4, and it's in Tennessee. But I see Andrew Luck actually pulling this off and getting the win here, with Indianapolis and Tennessee both going to 3-4 after this game. I see most people picking Tennessee, but I actually have the Colts here. They were actually my Super Bowl pick last year, and that was a disaster, but I at least see him going 3-4. I see him beating the Titans here. San Diego at Atlanta, his first afternoon game. I feel for Falcons fans right now. The pass interference call that was missed is extremely unfortunate, and for anyone who watched the Vikings-Seattle game last year, obviously I don't like the Seahawks very much. So I wanted to see the Falcons win that game. But the Falcons, they get gypped a little bit. I think they're going to be playing with a bit of a chip on their shoulder this week against San Diego. And San Diego actually played a really good game against Denver last week. But I have the Falcons going 38-28 in a bit of a shootout. Rivers and Ryan are both going to go to town with a few touchdown passes each. I just don't see any way San Diego can come and beat Atlanta on the road. I just don't see this happening. But 38-28 is my final prediction there. Tampa Bay at San Francisco. Tampa Bay's coming off their bye week, going on the road at Levi Stadium. Colin Kaepernick starting again. There's just no way that San Francisco can win right now with either Blaine Gabbert or Colin Kaepernick. I watched the highlights of Kaepernick last week. He did not look very good. The one touchdown pass he had was severely underthrown. I don't know if he hasn't been doing well in practice or whatever the case. But obviously they had to do something, and putting Kaepernick in over Gabbert was that something to try. But I just don't see them beating Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is not the greatest team, 2-3. But coming off their bye week, I think they take this one on the road. I got them winning 23-13. New England at Pittsburgh. Steelers fans are probably hurting right now. I don't remember the exact timetable of Roethlisberger's injury. I've seen reports of 2 to 6 weeks. I've seen reports of 4 to 6 weeks. Regardless, he's obviously not playing this game against New England, which is unfortunate. This, at the beginning of the season, had the potential to be a great game. But Tom Brady's back. I don't care if New England's playing on the road or at home or in London or wherever. I can't pick against the Patriots right now. Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, they're too good to pick against. They're my top team in the league. So I've got the Patriots winning 34-21 against a Landry Jones-led Steelers team. Seattle at Arizona is the Sunday night game. I will definitely try to watch this game. Most people have Seattle winning it, and they've played extremely well. They're at 4-1 right now, but Arizona's really come out of the grave here. They started the season, I think, 1-3, if I remember right. I can't remember if that's right. But they've really turned it around the last couple of weeks. They had a dominating performance against the Jets on Monday night. I see them taking care of business against Seattle, against that Seattle-led defense. David Johnson, I wish I'd taken him in fantasy. He's a great player. 31-20, Arizona with a couple more David Johnson touchdowns. Houston at Denver, we have our Monday night game. Houston, great comeback last week against the Colts. You're going to have a lot tougher time against the Broncos. Broncos still have that great defense. It's not the same offense without Peyton Manning and Brock Osweiler in Denver. Granted, it wasn't that great last year to begin with. Then again, they still won the Super Bowl with those two, so I can't really say much there. But Trevor Siemian, I've given him a lot of credit for the job he's been able to do, and I think it's going to at least be enough to get past Houston this week. But I see it being a defensive matchup, 17-13 Denver victory. I think Osweiler is going to have a terrible time getting past this Denver defense, just like he did against the Vikings 2 weeks ago. Those are my Week 7 picks. I'm going to try to do a weekly pick 'em every single week. I'm trying to see if I can get some power rankings out once in a while too, but we'll see how this goes, because this is, again, my first video. I want to see the responses I get. If you have any comments, leave them below. I'll see if I can get to them as best as I can. Otherwise, have a great time watching the NFL this week, and Bears and Packers playing tonight. Otherwise, have a great day.